Hey everybody, we are in game 2 of the Bronze series between Gameslayer and DeathTacticus. DeathTacticus took the first game in a back and forth game. I am your host, Panic, with Terra Incognita. Terra, what do you think about this map?
Well, I was doing the special Zoltar chant just off mic before the game started, and it seems to have worked. We have a Zoltar map here.
We are hosting it on your computer, so you made your chant extra effective.
There you go. Yeah, it was definitely a good one. Look at the geotherms in the southeast as well. I just want to point those out. There are 3 lots of double geotherms.
Yes.
In the southeast. I don't know what we're going to see, honestly. We might see some scientific down here. We might... I really don't know. There's no carbon, so we won't see a scavenger. There's no water on the map, so we might just see two robots. In fact, I think that's probably the most likely. Gameslayer does plant down robot in the southeast, and DT is probably going to do something quite similar. He goes expansive, interesting, right in the middle of the map, taking the view that that is the best place for him to be. It gives him some room to expand, and it puts all of the resources in relative arm's length from his base, so he won't be spending too much, and fuel is starting at 20, so maybe that'll work. And he says, let's do something stupid in chat.
He does have, well, he can't afford to try something stupid, a high risk, high reward play. He does have the game on Gameslayer. He definitely has access to the better water, and there's also closer to the silicon. The colony is a chem colony, which I guess it is dry ice. So.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with it is just that there's only one price on the map at the moment, and that's steel. And if you're not making steel in any significant volume, which really DT isn't, then it's just going to be really hard for you to move into even HQ2. Like he's still 4,000 from the upgrade. Gameslayer's already HQ2, is making steel, has transitioned into some more steel. So it's just going to be really difficult, and he does shut down the iron, and that's pretty smart from DT. The steel now not terribly profitable anymore.
That tactic gets bought into that iron, and Gameslayer does not have any iron stored up, so he's going to be in a world of hurt right now.
The response from Gameslayer is to pirate some of the iron, and that will be a bit of money for him. But yeah, that's really painful for him. These have to be off. Like there's no way these can be on. And again, there's nothing else that makes any money, so he can't even transition. Maybe you can transition to something like dry ice. I don't know. That's some money at least.
It is some money. It's 0.4k to go into dry ice for the solar condensers apiece.
So DT has another black market cooldown coming up. I wonder if we'll see anything from it.
The black market is online.
Let's see, what does he buy? Anything?
Nope, instead he takes the upgrade.
Nothing so far. Take the upgrade, that makes sense.
He's going to put down
Trying
a second
to catch up with that robot.
steel mill as well.
He pulled down his steel, iron, so Gameslayer's
and again, this is just all about iron being, steel being the only price on the map right now. It's dying in a hurry, so I think. Oh, and DT's even splitting his steel, so he's putting one in the southwest as well of his base. Presumably he's going to put another one there as well.
If you're watching Black Magic, here's your tile. You should be happy.
Yeah, it is for now at least.
Although those steel mills are immediately off.
Yeah, like, and he's building. Yeah, he is building another one. So I don't know. I guess he figures that he has the iron production to be able to cope with that. Worth noting as well that Gameslayer has gooned his medium iron tile, so there won't be any repeat of those particular shenanigans. We slow down strikes on the market, but I don't know.
I don't know if anyone... Well, DeathTacticus could sell out of some of his aluminum, his water that's coming in to get into the black market, but I'm not sure at this point, if I'm in this game, whether I want to prioritize the black market or prioritizing upgrading. Gameslayer decides to prioritize the upgrade.
Yeah, and again, what we were saying before about resources not being worth any money, Means that upgrades are very cheap by comparison to the black market, so Gameslayer taking advantage of that fact.
So they're going into aluminum.
And DT has bought a goon. Not sure quite what he's going to do with that.
A wind turbine.
So a wind turbine comes down, and that's... I mean, I guess that's okay.
Not using any of those 3 double geothermal vents. I hear from Yeran that you buy all...
yeah, that's a pretty big misplay, I think. I don't know. Yeah, like you've got to take advantage of this with steel at $30 as well. You've got to take advantage of this.
Now the only, yeah, especially I'd agree. We're talking a 3K difference between the geothermal vent and a wind turbine.
DT does get to 3. He's going to take. Oh, he has already taken the water. In fact, in the upper west of the map. Oh, he had that from HQ1, didn't he?
2 or 1 of the 2.
Yeah, he's had that a while anyway. But otherwise, yeah, otherwise like the
natural shortage in chems happening right now.
Yeah, I don't know if either player is in a position to particularly take advantage of that. DT has taken a double geo at the southern corner of the map, so right on the edge there. So he's putting 2 geos down immediately, saying I'll have some of that sweet power money. That will be 6 power per second for him on the double geo. Oh, look at this auction! Oh my goodness! This game has a sense of humor.
Gameslayer decides that he does want a geo.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I guess it's fine, because like there are 3 of those geothermal pairs. That's the first time I've ever seen more than 1 on a map. And this
I do believe Yeran did mention that if you build 3 double geo pairs, you automatically win 1v1. I think that's a thing.
Okay, yeah.
If it's not, it should be.
You automatically win the tournament. I think that's how it works. We don't play the rest of the games. We sort of pack up and say, hey, you win. So Gameslayer on 17,000 of debt. Is he going to be able to make any money from this power? I suspect that he probably is.
If he can, let's see, he has a lot in it. It'll depend with that slowdown strike. I think he will. As I say, he wants to figure out some way to negate.
Yeah, and that's
DeathTacticus power, and that's a safe play because he's suspecting that one of the 2 is gooned.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty painful for DT. It's not that painful because it's so much power. Oh, and the dynamite comes down on the geotherm. Gameslayer will be able to repair that without too much drama, just because steel is so inexpensive right now.
That was DeathTacticus blindly throwing down a dynamite, either noticing that Gameslayer did not buy a goon after, or throwing it to chance.
Yeah, that was actually
either way it worked.
That was actually fairly risky, wasn't it? Because Gameslayer did have 2 goons down. DT doesn't know where they are. He doesn't. Well, he knows where one of them is. He knows where the one on the wind turbine. And yeah, maybe he knows that it was purchased before the geotherm. But in any case, pretty confident about that. Gameslayer though is making power money now. He's not making a lot of power money, but he is making some. Oh, and the natural power surplus. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
DeathTacticus taking level 4 before, as the expansive, before Gameslayer takes it as a robot. Never a sign that you want to see as a robotic player.
Yeah, that's usually bad news. DT does go into the reactors just as the fuel surpluses, so that's a little bit unfortunate for him. Although Gameslayer's in those as well.
Those reactors,
yeah.
Fortunate for pretty much everyone.
Yeah. So I imagine we're going to see some more steel production very shortly, probably in replacing these electrolysis. We're going to see some
moving into 4 steel total.
And this is really smart as well from Gameslayer, using the adjacency for the water from the geotherm. That's really quite smart. So he's going to get 3.5 water per second, and that is going to be a big deal. And he freezes out DT's water as well, so he's going to make a bunch of money from that probably.
DT has the cooldown, so has the option to counter freeze. We'll see if he elects to take that option or not.
Yeah, none of that is gooned.
Currently building in another pair of steel mills. Wants in on some of that steel profits himself.
Yeah, no great surprise. Gameslayer, though, already ahead of that particular game, does have 4 down next to his base, and so I think by the time those come up, most of the profits from steel will be gone. And this water's a big issue for him at the moment. It's at $100. He does have a little bit of a stockpile, but he's had to turn off these reactors.
DeathTacticus, that is. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, DT, yep.
The black market is online.
Gameslayer is within 7k cash and resources of DeathTacticus, which is, all things considered, isn't too bad with DeathTacticus beating him to the upgrade.
Well, it's particularly not too bad because, although DT did just hit 5 with all of the steel that he just bought, but DT is in 100k, more than 100k now of debt, which is going to be fairly significant. Again, no cook the books in this game, so that is going to be real debt, and he's going to have to pay real interest on it if he gets to a debt tick at that point.
DeathTacticus moving into some carbon via dry ice, as carbon is now 117 and climbing.
I missed what DT was LMAOing about. Something must have happened. There must have been the surplus, was it?
It may have been a very much delayed reaction to Gameslayer's comments about the surplus.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. Patent Lab going down. Both players want it. It is
really,
going high.
36,000.
Gameslayer can afford to pay 36,000 with his debt situation.
In fairness, look at this Patent Lab. It's got 4 labs around it.
Oh,
that
yes.
is going to be a 40% boosted Patent Lab.
Going into carbon scrubbing makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Gameslayer needs to goon that.
Yeah, can he afford to? He is trying to... I was going to say he's trying to get the money to do it, but I'm not sure that he is. He doesn't have the money to do it at the moment, with these 3 chem labs going up. Yeah, that carbon scrubbing will be a big deal. If he can get that carbon scrubbing, these chems suddenly become very, very profitable indeed, although fuel is at 177.
DeathTacticus will not be able to blow it up in time. His cooldown is another...
He's got a 3-second window. He does have it spied. He has a 3-second window, literally 3 seconds.
So it's
that
fine.
He can delay that.
I misread the numbers backwards.
Is he going to do it? Are we going to see the quick dynamite purchase?
Not going to goon it in
no,
time.
not in time. Oh, he did get it in time. Did he get it in time? Did
yes,
he get
he
it in
got
time?
It in time?
Oh my goodness! With a split second to spare, he blows up Gameslayer's Patent Lab with carbon
and now
scrubbing.
begins to buy into Gameslayer, as Gameslayer's still struggling to make some money.
Yeah, he really is. DT doesn't have a whole lot of money himself, though.
No.
He does have a hacker array.
He will be able to. He might be able to force a reaction out of Gameslayer, but so far Gameslayer's not taking.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, if it's a race as to who makes the most money, which it might well be at this point, I think DeathTacticus is not in too bad a position here.
No, if Gameslayer can get this Patent Lab back up and defend it, and grab thinking machines, Offworlds are starting to creep up in price. 31k profit per launch for both water and food right now. 28 for oxygen.
That is true.
However,
I think DT is making more money than Gameslayer, and that's a little bit of a problem. I think we might be seeing an end to this game sooner rather than later. The freeze did come down on the water for DT, but that's not too bad because he does have a stockpile, and it's at $20, and one of them was gooned.
Counter freeze on Gameslayer's electrolysis reactors.
Yeah, and that will be more painful because they were making a good 70. Food is being hacked. DT's going to try and make enough money here. He's selling out of Gameslayer, at least for now, to try and make more money from this hack, it looks like.
Yes.
So
meanwhile, Gameslayer's carbon scrubbing is finished. Unfortunately, chems, even with carbon scrubbing, we're not making a significant amount of money.
So we're going to keep a close eye on the value of this food. It was at 96,000 when this shortage started. It's now at 115, getting on for 120, 121, 125. That's a lot of money that DT made there. 125,000 immediately turns and buys back into Gameslayer. And Gameslayer does not have the resources to defend himself. He doesn't really have the money at all. It's going to be a big struggle for him.
Unfortunately going into a short, which you need to spend money in order to make it, and he does not have the ability to spend that at all.
So DT just a little bit short. He's about 20,000 short at the moment. Gameslayer did pick up that carbon scrubbing, but I think it's much too little, much too late. He needs to make 50,000 basically now. DT sitting with his finger on the trigger. He's 63% of the way, 65, 66% of the way to the buyout.
Yeah, pay attention to this counter.
Power shortage. It's going to hurt Gameslayer. It's going to lower his stock price as much as anything else because he's in a power deficit right now. There's another power surge.
Going on the offensive.
Yep, on the food.
In order to try and stay alive a little bit better. He has 44k, hasn't moved up very much, gone into thinking machines, which means he's going to have a difficult time defending himself. I'm not sure that
I have to question.
Extremely risky play, and I'm not sure that it's going to pay off.
Yeah, DT, if he sells everything down, he's so close. He is about 2,000 away by the looks of it.
Gameslayer should buy one of his stock to at least
he really should. He has the money now. Wonder whether he realizes that he has it.
Might be too late.
Gameslayer, there it is. He sells everything down and takes game number 2 and a 2-0 series win in this third place match. So DeathTacticus will finish third here. That was a really interesting one. I totally wasn't expecting the expansive in the middle of the map, but he made it work. Got everything that he needed to get down, as it were, in terms of the prices. The fuel was down relatively low. He stopped Gameslayer from making too much money from that power, and as soon as that happened and he was able to get the expansive advantage, even with his debt, he was able to ride it to a win.
Let's take a look at the production here really quick. Let's see. DeathTacticus only made 60k off of those feed hacks.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge swing. It was just enough. It was enough, yeah, because Gameslayer wasn't really making anything that made any money. The only thing that really he was making that was really good for him were the chems, and particularly once he had carbon scrubbing, they were making a big profit for him. But again, just not quite enough. So there we go. That was game number 2. And yeah, Gameslayer not happy
about the surpluses.
And DT saying that yeah, he benefited from those. And yeah, there was a fuel one at one point. There was power at one point, just as Gameslayer was about to make money from that. It was a big deal. And yeah, that none of them were DT, right? Like he only had the. How many things did he hack in this game? Only the 2 hacks total. One on power, one on food, and that was it. None of the surpluses were him at all.
No. Well, DeathTacticus has secured bronze. I think that about sums it up for this game.
Yep, all that remains now is to find out who's going to win the tournament.